2349. An Imorak businessman was waiting on news of his latest venture, the colonization of a newly discovered garden world. The planet was several times larger than any other planet, given its ecosystem, and it was expected to bring him a tidy profit. The small grey alien was sitting at his desk, wondering why his secretary was late with the reports, and when the door finally opened, it was the Missourian Moss that entered instead. The man looked sheepish, quite an accomplishment coming from the 7 feet tall reptilian bundle of muscles. The mission failed. 2349 wanted to yell, if only to air his frustrations, but something in the way the Missourian spoke bothered him. He looked frightened. Is something wrong with that planet? Yes. What did the survey teams find? Nothing. We weren't able to land any. 2349 was confused. Granted, if it was too cold, the reptilian Morosans couldn't land on it without special equipment. The Imorak required levitation belts to move in higher gravity, and Ians couldn't deal with anything having too strong a psychic field. But they had humans with them. The Death Worlders may be a pain in the... well, everywhere to maintain, but they were supremely adaptable to hostile environments. Even the humans? They were the ones who first noticed something wrong. Allow me to show you the field report. 2 weeks ago in orbit of the temporary named planet Utopia Prime, Captain Pierce was going over the data while preparing his team for the initial incursion. Stable temperature, low winds, lush forests, no fauna and no geological dangers. Yup, it's a garden world all right. The man had fought in the Corporation Wars and was scheduling the first recon. He would lead it personally. Normally such an early assignment would be left to newer members of the team, but something felt off. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I didn't make it this far by ignoring my instincts. Velasquez, Hoffman, get your full nuclear biological chemical armor. Oh, and we are taking Fluffy for a walk. The 2 former Rangers nodded and went to get their gear. Loading Fluffy, the 8 feet long 500-pound Fenrir-class bioengineered combat wolf, was surprisingly difficult. The moment he set foot, or rather paw, in the shuttle, he became agitated. Fluffy feels it too. There is something wrong. Velasquez and Hoffman haven't said anything, but a quick look at their vitals show a heart rate well above normal. Landing in 5 minutes. The shuttle AI chimed the message, and on cue Fluffy began to fight his restraints. Hoffman tried to soothe the beast, but it kept trying to tear at his collar, drawing blood in the process. Trank him! Yelled Velasquez, as he moved to immobilize the wolf so Hoffman could get the medkit. By the time they landed, the beast was sleeping, and Hoffman was applying a dressing to its wound. What the hell was that? Fluffy is a combat wolf for frack's sake, trained to follow orders in an active battlefield. What the hell has it so spooked? No one had the time to answer Velasquez, as the shuttle door opened and all 3 turned their guns towards the descending ramp. Captain Pierce took point, and the 2 remaining Rangers covered the exit, as he slowly made his way off the shuttle. Alright, same lush forest, nice weather, no sign of fauna. One more step and then... The captain never completed the motion. Before his foot touched the grass, he rolled backwards into the shuttle. Hoffman and Velasquez opened fire at the forest in general. Close the doors! Close the doors! 2349 was watching the video report of Captain Pierce. We returned to the exploration vessel the second those doors were sealed. The man looked shaken, in a way 2349 had never seen before. He seemed on the edge of hysterics. I have only stepped into enemy kill zones to buy time for the rest of my company. Held the line when artillery was going to rain death in our position. But that was worse. The human took a swig of what, to 2349, looked like a lethal amount of alcohol before continuing. Imagine someone walking on your grave, but it's also you doing the stepping, and instead of it being unsettling or terrifying, it was a euphoric occasion. Like I was happily crushing my own corpse, joyfully killing myself. He had his head in hands, sweating profusely. I have no idea what the frack is in that planet, but no one should go there. Mraz turned off the recording. After that, we tried to analyze the feed from the planet in more detail. He brought up the image into 2349's presentation screen. A beautiful sunny forest. Do you see something wrong? 2349 didn't notice anything strange. Not really. Well, maybe. Mraz nodded. Something feels odd, right? It took us a while to figure it out ourselves. Not all the shadows are where they should be. Some of the leaves don't sway with the wind, and then there was the sun. What about the sun? It never sets. In the weeks we observed the planet, the image received from the probe never changed in luminosity. 2349 felt a chill down his spine. He was going to ask a question when an odd noise caught his ears. It seemed to be coming from the video, so he began to increase the volume. He was almost there when he was startled by Mraz putting a hand on his shoulder. It never becomes audible. 2349 didn't recall Mraz getting up from his chair, or how long he had been trying to fix the audio. When he checked the sound output, it was at over 1000%. What the hell is it? Mraz turned the volume off and returned to where he was sitting. We had an Ian psychic check it. He translated it to the monarch in gold-coloured robes. Doesn't ring a bell. The Amorak uttered the human expression before remembering the Morosa may not understand it. He was about to correct himself when Mraz cut him off. It did to the humans. The King in Yellow was known to them. They called the nearest Terran fleet, which sent a dreadnought to crack the planet to pieces. They destroyed the whole planet? The Morosan nodded, clearly shaking. They said they couldn't afford to take chances, and then they posted several automated combat stations around the debris field. Why would they do that? Mraz pointed to the image on the presentation screen. Because, sir, that isn't a recording. It's a live feed.